What's up, guys? So today I am going to read a few books. So I know I usually play games, but now I kind of want to make a series of books I never read in a very long time. But we're starting off with The Smart Cookie, and I have this book, and it's a cool book. So I'm going to read this, then I'm going to read another one, then I'm going to probably read one per episode of books, because I want to at least get through my whole bookshelf. So let's start. The Smart Cookie, from the #1 New York Times book-selling team, Jory, John, and Pete Oswald, in Scholastic. I've always seen these Scholastic books, and it is so cool. I can't really show you guys the pictures, but I could try to take photos of it and then put it on my profile. So yeah, The Smart Cookie. Greetings, I'm a cookie. I live in a bakery on a street corner near a river. Come on in. Which, The Smart Cookie looks like this. This is the French version. I know a little bit of French, and this is the English version. Okay. Welcome to our little community. It's a warm and supportive place to spend some time. Pretty fantastic, eh? I could kind of describe it. It might take me a while to read this because I'm describing the whole photos. So yeah, there's it's kind of like a bakery and a workshop. And instead of real people working, it's foods that are working. There's a cupcake, I assume a cherry pie, a croissant, a baguette. There are 8 macarons. Oh my god. A cake, the Smart Cookie, of course, a blueberry muffin, a cinnamon roll, a donut, a pretzel. I assume another pastry. I don't know what it's called. A pie, a cookie, and a chocolate cupcake. One's a vanilla, one's a chocolate, I think. Yeah. These days, life is sweet, but my journey wasn't always a cakewalk. When I was younger, I couldn't have imagined fitting in here, which the bakery had every dessert inside, while the Smart Cookies, sat outside on the sidewalk, reflecting their life choices on a puddle. For a long time, I didn't feel comfortable speaking up or sharing my ideas. I didn't feel like a smart cookie. I wanted to be a cookie who knew all the answers, a cookie who felt confident in a group, a cookie who said, aha, when solving a puzzle, like this, aha! Bro. And it's the photo is the Smart Cookie holding up a pencil. Bunyu cookie. Anyways, looking back, I had some trouble in my early days. I went to school in a gingerbread house. Our teacher, Miss Biscotti, was kind and patient when I arrived. When I arrived each morning, she'd wave at me and smile. I assume she's like a piece of bread. I don't know. But I didn't get the best grades. And I never raised my hand because I couldn't think of the answers as fast as the others. As you can see, you can't really see it, but I can describe it. The Smart Cookie is holding a report card with bad grades, and the croissant and cupcake are raising their hands for questions, while the Smart Cookie is just in the desk, not answering. Anyways, keep reading. Oh, the last photo is the cookie taking a test, and they don't know the answers, so there's sigh. And I was the last to finish most tests. Yeah, you cooked, bro. You cooked, little bro. It wasn't because I didn't care, and it wasn't because I didn't try. Sometimes I'd get distracted and mess up even though I knew the material. Those were the most frustrating moments of all. Once I misspelled the word dough. That was rough. So, The first picture is the cookie daydreaming of going to the moon in a rocket. The second photo is the cookie spelling dough wrong. Spelled it D-O-E. That's a type of deer, I think. And I think they meant D-O-U-G-H. Cookie dough. Another time I added when I meant to subtract. 2 minus 2 equals 4 is crazy. It's crazy, bro. Occasionally, we'd have a lesson where I had absolutely no idea what was happening. I just couldn't keep up. The third photo is the cookie doing 2 minus 2, but bro put 4. Oh no. I imagined that my desk was a raft and that I was completely lost at sea, because that's what it felt like. The last photo on this page is the cookie on the desk like a raft in the middle of the ocean. Okay. At night, I slept in a cookie jar. I had about 6 dozen roommates. Move. No, you move. No, you move. No, you move. No, you move. So there's like a bunch of cookies in a jar, and the smart cookie is like standing out, and they're all fighting because there's not enough space. Okay. I'd stay awake and stare out the window and worry. And it went this way day after day after day. But then something happened that changed everything. The cookie in the jar is staring outside at the night sky, and the cookie is still awake on the sleeping roommates. Okay, on to the reading. It all started with a homework assignment. Miss Biscotti requested our attention one afternoon. Tonight, I would like you to create something completely original, she announced. It can be anything you want. Please bring it to class tomorrow. That was it. There were no further instructions. Miss Biscotti winked at me as I gathered my belongings. So the cookie has to create something original. Nothing copied. They have to make it themselves. I felt like I had a million butterflies in my stomach. Create anything? Something original? Do it tomorrow? Yeah, bro, you cooked. Okay. And sprinkles are falling off. When I got home, I immediately went to work. At first, I tried a cooking project. The results were half-baked. Next, I tried to hammer and nail something. It splintered immediately. Then I tried to make a sculpture. It was a complete bust. It was a complete bust. I wonder if I was about to fail yet. Another assignment. I was stuck. I stared out the window and watched the rain hit the river. There was something mesmerizing about the water, how it moved in such a chaotic way, swirling around and around, yet ultimately figuring out exactly where I need to go. Aha! Suddenly, I had an idea. I decided to write something original, a poem. I came up with a title based on how I'd be feeling, My Crummy Days. After that, the rest of it seemed to fall in place. I wrote and I wrote. I lost track of time, and hour went by in a flash. Aha! When I was finished. I couldn't sleep that night because it wasn't because I was worried. It was because I was excited. I felt like I had really accomplished something. I felt smart. The following day, Miss Biscotti asked for volunteers to share what we created. One kid showed off his original frosting art. Another kid revealed her sprinkle distribution machine. Took me a struggle to read that, apparently. It was neat seeing how everyone was good at such different things. Finally, Miss Biscotti turned to me. Would you like to share anything? She asked. I gulped. I thought I'd probably crumble under the pressure. But I made my way to the front of the classroom. I noticed my hands were shaking, my mouth went dry. This poem is called My Crummy Days, I said, my voice cracking. Then I read it aloud. I spoke. I noticed some kids nodding at certain lines. Other kids laughed at parts that were supposed to be funny. As I built towards the finale, I felt myself becoming more confident and animated. And in the end, everybody clapped and cheered. I promise you this. I'll never, ever forget it. Miss Biscotti was beaming. No one but you could have written that poem, she said. It was completely original. Aha! I had done it. I'd created something and shared it with the world. Well, my world at least. The rest of the day was a blur. By recess, I was already planning my next poem. I would call it My Sweet Morning. Aha! I thought when I came up with the title. Later that afternoon, Miss Biscotti handed me a note. It said that I should keep on writing, no matter what. That meant so much to me. School was a bit different after that. I wasn't so scared to raise my hand or ask a question or share my work. Sure, some things still don't come as easy for me as they do for others. But now I know that you can be smart in many different ways. You don't have to have the answers to every question or suddenly be great at everything all at once. You just need a chance to try all kinds of things to find out who you are and what you like to do. As for me, I learned that I can write and I can think up great ideas, and I found plenty of other things I'm good at too. I no longer feel lost at sea. It's most like floating down a river. And the best part is there's always more to learn because we're all smart cookies. There's more books by the same people, like The Bad Seed, The Good Egg, The Cool Bean, The Couch Potato, and other books, which is pretty fun. Jory writes at home in Oregon, I think, and Pete illustrates in his California studio. Well, yeah, that's the end of the first episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys like this video. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, comment down below what book I should read next. You guys should give me a few recommendations. It can be on Epic too. I think, yeah. Epic has books and videos we can watch too, which is pretty fun. Bye!